Yo, y'all see what's on the screen. Summer signings 2026, 2027. We about to see if we win over all of the signings, all right? Now, there's some people, obviously, who we missed. We about to go down the whole list on Euroleague.com. Shout out to Euroleague, as always, for making all this shit happen, all right? Gonna go down this whole list, see the signings that we missed, look at the rosters a little bit, kind of assess it. And then the next video that we're going to do will be a tier list video. So make sure y'all tune in to this video and the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. DM me group chat if you want to be a part of my community. Let's go. Anadolu to start off first. Anadolu's new players. Colin Malcolm, Mike James. Obviously, we know that they signed Mike James. Bruno Fernando is another good piece that we didn't know that they had. Dario Saric. I did not know that they got Dario Saric. Matthew Strazel is another transfer that we did not know that they got. Strazel and Mike James, they just played on the same team in Monaco, so that's obviously going to be some chemistry there. And then continuing players, obviously Jordan Lloyd, Cordinier, PJ Dozier, David Mutaf, Barakin, Yield Disley. I don't know if I said that right, but hey, y'all get the gist. No disrespect. Erkan Yilmaz, Erkan Osmani. They both had the same name with different spellings. All right, let's keep going. Bryce Desert, Georgios Papagiannis, and Kai Jones. All right, head coach is Pablo Lasso. Y'all let me know how y'all think that team is going to be. All right, next, we got Armani Milan. Moses Wright was added to this roster. That's a good pickup for them. RJ Cole, Darius Thompson, I did not know went to Armani Milan. That's going to be fire. Devin Hall also went to Armani Milan, so they're going to have a good backcourt as far as guards. Jason Burnell, Alec Peters, Nicola Akele, and then continuing players that they have or that they've had. Leandro Balmaro, Stefano Tonut, Marco Guduric. That's going to be a very, very big piece also. Diego Flacadori. All the names that I say wrong, y'all please let me know and correct them in the chat. All right? Just let me know because I know I'm saying some of these wrong. Pipo Richie, Usmain Diop, and Devin Booker. And no, this is not Devin Booker from the Suns. This is Devin Booker from the EuroLeague. So let's not get that confused. They got the same name, same spell, and everything. Pepe Poeta is the head coach. All right, now, Besiktas is a new team that we got in the EuroLeague. We're going to see if Besiktas brings that energy. They bring that fire. I want to say that they were in the Euro Cup. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but now they're in the EuroLeague, so they got to show up every single night. New players for Besiktas. They got Winyan Gabriel. That's a good pickup. David DeJulius. They got Eugene Omarui, Jalen Noel, Daquan Jeffries, Maddie Sissoko, Scotty Wilbekin, Medican, Burson, and Furkan Korkmaz. All right. Continuing players, Devon Dotson, Burke Ugurlu, Anthony Brown, Vito Brown, Connor Morgan, and Ante Zizic. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Head coach is Dusan Alimpejovic. I want to say they had one more guard that we know, Jonah Matthews, but I don't know what team he went to, so y'all let me know if y'all know what team he went to. All right, now we got Red Star. Red Star has been, from the start, one of those teams with a crowd atmosphere that is on the next level. Their team has always been on fire as far as their energy, their effort, everything like that. So, that being said, let's see the pickups that they got. Vojan Medarovich. They got Patrick Baldwin from the league. Jonathan Motley. That's a good pickup to have, too. You just got two centers and a forward, so that's fire. David Kramer. Chris Jones is one of my favorite signings out of everybody that's got signed this year. Chris Jones is a crafty guard. You just seen him with Hapoel Tel Aviv. Instead of having Chris Jones, now they have Eugene German. Y'all probably know who Eugene German is, but Red Star getting Chris Jones is fire. Nikola Jusaric, and then the continuing players that they've already had: Jovan Bikic, Jared Butler, obviously, y'all know who Jared Butler is. Alexej Nedeljkovic, Tyson Carter, Stefan Mihinovic, Semi Ojale, Angjin Dobrik, Nikola Kalinic, Jordan Nwora, Dihan Davidovac, Chima Maneke, and Ibuka Izundu. This team should be very solid next year with Jared Butler and Chris Jones running the backcourt. They gonna make some noise for sure. And their head coach, Ivan Navarro. All right, now for Dubai basketball. Dubai, I think is gonna be pretty solid going into this next year. They just picked up Mamadi Diakite, which is a very, very good pickup. Davion Mintz, L.A. Akobo, Jaren Blossom game, which is two good pieces. Akobo and Blossom game coming from AS Monaco and AS Monaco. Both of them came from the same team, so they'll have some chemistry together. And then the continuing players, they already have McKinley Wright. I want to say he got MVP of the month in one or two of those months last year or last season. Clement Prepelic, Costa Kondic, Musa Abbas, Dwayne Bacon, Justin Anderson, Nemanja Dangubic, Davis Bertans, Keenan Kamingis, Kevin Gale is one of my favorite players in the EuroLeague. Philip Petrusev, and Mam Jaite. Now, they have a very deep roster. Now, everybody's not going to play, but the deeper your roster is, the more you can really run the table, because at the end of the day, you can have about 8, 9, 10 players in rotation that are all going to give you solid minutes, and they're all going to contribute in ways that you need your team to contribute. So it's not as much pressure on your key players or your star players. You can have people come off the bench and really make an impact for your team, all right? Xavi Pascual is their head coach. I want to say I said that right, but I'm not completely sure. So y'all, again, please let me know. Next up, we have Barcelona. Now, Barcelona's new players, Tosan Tosan Evbuomwan, Tyrese Martin, Oleg Balsarovsky, Stanley Amude, which is so fire, Augustin Abal, Amoja Gibson, Josh Nebo, which is a really, really good pickup, Justin Robinson, and Oliver Kamhua. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Now, for their continuing players, the players that they've been had, Juan Nunez, Dario Bruzuela, KP, shout out to my guy KP, Joel Para, and Toko Shangalia. Alexander Sekulic is their head coach. Now, let me know how y'all think Barcelona is going to do next year, all right? They didn't get a whole lot of transfers, but they kind of did at the same time. Let's see if these transfers can fill in the pieces that they're missing, all right? It looks like they got 2 centers, which is pretty good. They got 3 forwards, and they have 4 new guards. All right, so let's see what they can do with those new guards. And Justin Robinson is going to be a very, very big piece for them. Now, for Bayern Munich, Miles Norris is on his way to Bayern Munich. Austin Wiley, Dwayne Washington is a good pickup for Bayern Munich. Tobias Jensen and Johannes Thiemann. Now, for the players that they've already had, Justice Hollitz, Rokas Jokobitis, Kamar Baldwin, Andy Obst, which, as y'all know, I'm an Andy Obst supporter. He scorched that shit from anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Justinian Jessup, Vladimir Lukic, Niels Giffey, Oscar Da Silva, Killian Fisher, Johannes Voigtman, and Winyan Gabriel. All right? Winyan Gabriel is no longer on their team, I believe. I think we've seen Winyan Gabriel on a new team. Winyan Gabriel is now in Besiktas, so he's no longer on Bayern Munich, but they got another center in Austin Wiley. Let's see if that's enough for them to kind of turn the tide, especially from last year, them having a under 500 year, I believe, till now. Let's see what changes. All right. Now, for Fenerbahce, this is going to be one of the best teams in the EuroLeague. I'm not going to cap to y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. They added Johnny Juzang. Shout out to my guy, Johnny Juzang. All right. They added Will Clyburn. They added Marcus Bingham, Ignas Sargunis, Sertak Sonley. Shane Larkin is another big piece. Braxton Key is another big piece that they added. Braxton Key, again, another big piece that they added. Siobhan Shields and Trent Forrest are 2 big pieces that they also added. And you're adding that to Wade Baldwin, THT, Meli Mamadaglu. Mamadaglu? I really don't know how to pronounce that. My bad, y'all. Anuralp Bidum, Nicolo Melli, and Chris Silva. All right. Saras Jaskovicius is their head coach. Just like I know, he knows what to do with his teams. So he's going to figure out how to put all these pieces together and how to make these pieces go. We already know how Saras get down. Now, Hapoel Tel Aviv is another team that kind of improved in the offseason. They just signed Eugene German. We're going to see how that looks first year in the EuroLeague. Jacob Toppin, Thomas Santaransky is a good piece. Zach Lede is another good piece to add. Amir Coffey and Kadeen Carrington. All right, and you're adding those pieces to Michich, Elijah Bryant, Antonio Blakeney, Bart Tamor, Tyler Ennis, Ziv, Guy Palatin, Ish Wainwright, Tomir Ganat, Oz Blazer, Ite Segev, Don Oturu, and Tice Odiace. Now, if there's anybody on this roster or any other rosters that was kind of like the Winyan Gabriel, where it showed him on one roster, but he ended up being on another team, please let me know. All right. Head coach is Dimitris Itudis. All right. Now for Baskonia. Baskonia added AJ Lawson, Chris Duarte, and DJ Stewart. I want to say all three of these guards are all from the league. They're all from the NBA. And they're adding those pieces with Marcus Howard, Kobe Simmons, Matteo Spagnolo, Rodions Karuks, Tadas Sedekerskis, Clement Frisch, Stefan Josimovic, and Khalifa Diop. Head coach is Pablo Galbiati. Let me know if they're going to be any better than last year. Now, for the team that disappointed me the most, Asvel. Asvel's been going through a lot of shit, man. They've been going through a lot of stuff. I don't know how many players on their roster are still going to be on their roster. I don't know who else is going to leave. Obviously, Sylvain Francisco was supposed to be on their team and has now departed, has now left and went to join Panathinaikos. So they're new players. I don't know if these players are going to stay on their team. I don't know what's going on right now in Asvel. But Yves Pons, both Gok, Armani Brooks, Nick Weilerbab, and their continuing players, Mbaye Ndiaye, and Bodie and Massa. That's 6 players. So I don't know if they're intending on playing with 6, but hey, that's how it looks about right now. Tony Parker is their head coach. No more updates. If y'all have any more updates, please let me know. Now, Maccabi Tel Aviv added Jan Madar and Bonzi Colson to Lundberg, Jimmy Clark, Amit Ebo, John DeBartolomeo, Jalen Horde, O'Shea Brissett, Will Raymond, Gur Lavi, TJ Leaf, and Roman Sorkin. I felt like they had a decent roster. I don't know where this roster is going to take them, but they need to up it a little bit. They need to play with more energy, more effort this year. Let's see if they can get into the playoffs, all right? Oded Katash is their head coach. Now, for Olympiacos, one of the super teams in the EuroLeague, Gene Montero and Cody Miller-McIntyre, both guards, were added to this already stacked squad of Thomas Walkup, Lauren Zykis, Tyler Dorsey, Amiros, Netza Poglu, Tyson Ward, Evan Fournier, Papa Nikolaou, Sasha Vezenkov, Milutinov, Tyree Jones, and Dante Hall. I still feel like they have a team that's going to compete for the championship. I know everybody's talking about Panathinaikos, but this is a team that you cannot sleep on, especially because they just won the EuroLeague the year before. I know some of these teams are getting new players, but they have chemistry. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how they can add Gene and Cody to this already stacked roster. But I feel like if it's any coach that can do it, Georgios Barzokis can do it. All right. Now, for Panathinaikos, this is where it gets spooky, though. This is where it gets very, very spicy because everybody's saying that this is the best team in the EuroLeague right now. They added Mantzoukas, Sylvain Francisco, which is a very, very big piece. Isaac Bonga, which you already know is another very, 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 very big piece. Branco Badio, Gerson Yabusele. Hopefully I said that right. Mustafa Fall is another big piece. Obviously, he's coming off an injury, so we got to see how he's going to do. But if he plays anywhere near as much as we think he's going to play, it's going to be an impact. And you're adding this to Moraitis, Kostas Lukas, Kendrick Nunn, Jerian Grant, Kalaitzakis, Nigel Hayes Davis, Rakavopoulos, Honcho, Hernan Gomez, and Mitaglou. So already stacked roster. And then you add the cherry on top with Zeljko Obradovic. Like, that shit is OD. I'm not going to lie to y'all. That shit is a super team, and that's the Zeljko Obradovic effect. I've already said that. Make sure y'all go check out that How Did Panathinaikos Just Land Sylvain Francisco video that I already dropped about 2 days ago. All right? Now for Paris basketball. Paris added Alize Johnson, Tyson, Etienne. TJ Warren is a big piece. That's going to be an X factor piece. If he's anywhere near the bubble, TJ Warren, it's going to be a long night for a lot of teams. All right? Terry Tarpey. And you're adding that with Nadir Heafy, Sebastian Herrera. Jared Roden is a good piece that they had last year. Very, very high energy guy. Jeremy Morgan and Alan DeCosi. All right. Head coach is Maxime Lefebvre. I'm not trying to get your name wrong, coach. Please let me know. DM me if I said your name wrong. All right. Now for Partizan. Kyle Allman, Derek Willis, Luka Vildoza, Nicolo Tanaskovic, Alessandro Pajola, Lamar Stevens, Kavarius Hayes has been added to this roster. Y'all let me know who the X factor is out of all the pieces that they've got. All right. Now, the players that have been here. Vanja Marinkovic, Carlick Jones is obviously the biggest piece of them all. Matar Bazjakovic. I'm sorry, I don't know. Uras Mihailovic, Arijan Lakic, Mario Nakic, Tonye Jakiri, and Geoffrey Lavergne. I'm sorry. I know I messed that last one up. Joan Panaroya is their head coach. Real Madrid. This roster is going to look a little different. I'm not going to lie. Michael Yantunin, Timothy Lawawa Cabarro, Jaime Padilla, hopefully that's how you say it. And you're adding that with Facundo Campazzo, Theo Maladon, Andres Feliz, Sergio Yui, Alberto Abaldi, Gabriel Procida, Gabriel Deck. I'm pretty sure it's Gabriel Deck. Izan Almansa, Chuma Okeke, Usman Garuba, and Walter Tavares. Now, the one piece that went back to the NBA, and y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. So I don't think Mario Hezonja. Yeah, Mario Hezonja. That's going to be a big loss for them. Hopefully they can make up for the person who kind of led them offensively. And hopefully people can step up and fill in his role. Pedro Martinez is their head coach. Now, for Valencia, I want to say I might have been saying this wrong, y'all. Yeah, as far as head coaches. As far as head coaches go, I might have said it in the format where like the head coach of Boom might be the next team down, but y'all get the gist. All right. Valencia Basket. Actually, I don't think I've been saying it wrong, to be very honest with you. I don't think I've been saying it wrong. Valencia Basket. New players, Lucas Mari, Mo Guye, Mario St. Superi, TJ Shorts, which is going to be a big piece for them. Dylan Osikowski is also going to be a solid piece for him. Gonzalo Corbalon, and then the continuing players that they've already had, Omari Moore, Yoso Puerto, Alvaro Cardenas, Cam Taylor, Nate Reavers, Neo Sacco, and Yankuba Sima. We're going to see how this team does, especially now that they have lost Gene Montero. This team might look a little bit different, but you got TJ Shorts, you got some other transfers that can really impact this team. So let's see how they do next year. All right. Xavi Albert is their head coach. Now, Virtus Bologna, they added Wendell Moore, Trent Frazier, Kessler Edwards, Marcus Carr, Rashid Bello, Bobby Clintman, Davidi? I don't know how to pronounce that. David Casserin, Tommaso Baldasso. And the people who have already been on this team, Daniel Hackett, Matteo Biocchi, Francesco Ferrari, Derek Austin Jr., Alayo Diarra, and Momo Diop. All right. Head coach is Alex Mumbrou. For Zalgiris. lot of y'all are Zalgiris fans. My Zalgiris supporters and my Zalgiris fan base, y'all will be all right next year. All right? Y'all added Caldo Ricci, a Kabundu, a Hyugu. He's a freak athlete. I've seen him. And I'm impressed. He's going to do a lot of big things for y'all. Jonas Valanciunas, Sterling Brown, Carson Edwards, Marius Grigonis, Marek Blazovic, and Saban Lee. I want to say y'all got some offensive firepower for sure. Y'all got to worry about defense. Y'all got to worry about the other teams who are kind of stacked, how y'all going to match up with them. Continuing players, Nigel Williams-Goss, Dovidas, Giedraitis, Mauro Lowe, Davidas, Servidis, and back to Mauro Lowe. I do not look like Mauro Lowe. Let's get that out the way right now, because y'all steady keep making it seem like we twins or something. Cut it out right now. I said cut it out right now. You get me? Anyway, Azulis Tabelis, Dustin Sleva, Arnas Bukavicius, and Edgaris Ulanovis. Head coach is Thomas Masiulis. Now, with that being said, these rosters are stacked. The Zalgiris will be all right. This video of the tier list, I will let y'all know where I feel like these teams will end up. I just kind of wanted to go over the roster and everything like that with y'all. But I do want to kind of look at the roster and say the 2 cents after seeing all of the pieces that they have or all the pieces that they just got. I think these teams will be solid thus far. I think Anadolu will be solid. Armani Milan, I feel like will be decent. They have some vets. They have some championship experience also too. They just got to gel everything, put it together. Besiktas is a team that just came to the EuroLeague, so we got to kind of fill them out. They have some good pieces, but we got to see how they're going to hang with this EuroLeague competition. Red Star should be solid. They should be more solid than they were last year. Yeah, they lost Cody, but they also added Chris Jones, and they also added some other pieces, so let's see how they do. Dubai basketball, I feel like, will be really good. Between the bigs that they have, Kabengele, and then the pieces that they just added, I feel like they'll be very, very solid. They added Diakite, so that's another big athletic center that they just got. I think they'll be pretty solid. FC Barcelona, I feel like they could have made a couple more moves. I feel like they'll be decent. I don't feel like they'll be a championship contender, but I feel like they'll get into the playoffs. Bayern Munich is another team that improved a little bit. They got to gel. They got to make sure they playing well, but overall, I think they got a little bit better. Fenerbahce will be one of the powerhouses in the EuroLeague. I don't feel like that should be a surprise whatsoever. I feel like they'll be probably top 3, top 4 in the EuroLeague, but we got to see how everything plays out. All right. Hapoel Tel Aviv, they'll be pretty solid once again. I feel like they were solid last year. They had a good record. They just didn't have enough firepower when it came down to the end of the season into playoffs. I know that they lost against Real Madrid. That's a team with championship experience and stuff like that. But Hapoel, at the end of the day, y'all got to overcome that hump. I don't care who y'all playing. Y'all had a good season. Y'all got to get over that hump, all right? And I know y'all lost a couple players, but y'all gained a couple players too. Baskonia, I just want Baskonia to be better than they was last year. I just want them to shoot for something a little bit higher. Because at the end of the day, I feel like their roster is set up for them to be kind of good, be pretty solid all around. They just got to want it, all right? Asvel, I feel like will be at the bottom of the barrel. They'll be the worst team in the EuroLeague. Maccabi, I feel like will be down there also. I feel like they'll get a little bit better from last year, but I don't think they'll be in playoff contention, all right? Olympiacos would be another powerhouse in the EuroLeague. I feel like if people sleep on Olympiacos worrying about Panathinaikos, Olympiacos will still creep up and still win the EuroLeague championship. They're more than capable. They have the pieces. They have the firepower. They have the chemistry. They have the coach. So they got a little bit of everything, all right? And they just won the EuroLeague championship last year. So do not sleep on Olympiacos. I'm going to say it one more time. Don't sleep on Oli. Panathinaikos is looking like the best team in the EuroLeague right now. I feel like that's just from y'all's opinion, from everybody's opinion out there who just seen Sylvain Francisco get signed to this team. I feel like everybody's saying Panathinaikos is the favorite. And they have Zelchko, their coach, so I feel like that's set up for them to win a championship this year. But we got to see. Paris basketball got a little bit better also. Obviously, you know who runs this team, Nadir Heafy. But they got some pieces around Heafy to kind of make them go a little bit more. So I kind of like the signings that they just got or that they just made happen. We're going to see how they do. All right. Partizan. Partizan got a little bit better. I feel like them losing Tyreek Jones kind of hurt their season. And in the mix of them losing Tyreek, Carlick Jones was hurt. And then he came back and then they ran off like 7-8 wins straight. So I feel like this team should be solid. This team should be all right. Okay. I don't know how they're going to look as far as playoffs and everything like that, or where they're going to end up, but I feel like they'll still be solid. Real Madrid, as y'all know, I just said they just lost Mario Hezonja, but they still have that DNA in them. They still got that chemistry. They still got vet experience. So let's see what they do with their new pieces on the team. All right. Valencia basket. I feel like a team like Valencia would be a little bit worse than they were last year. I don't know if they make it as far. As you know, both of their guards are now gone. Badio and Jean went to Panathinaikos and Olympiacos, so that's going to hurt a little bit. But let's see how TJ Shorts and the newcomers can kind of get this team going and get this team revamped. All right, Virtus Bologna. Virtus Bologna, I don't think is going to be a big threat. I feel like their team just got a little bit better, but at the end of the day, they're still going to kind of struggle this year. And lastly, but not least, Zalgiris. I feel like Zalgiris is going to be a good team. I feel like they're going to be in the mix of everything. I feel like they're going to make the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be in that hump of championship contention, even though the playoffs is damn near championship contention. But Zalgiris is going to have to figure it out from a chemistry standpoint, all right? And we're going to see how this team is going to be ran. At the end of the day, though, this offseason has been nothing less than crazy. It's been a lot of moves. It's been a lot of pieces getting swapped out. A lot of people just leaving their teams and going to new teams. A lot of people trying to figure out their situation. So at the end of the day, we're going to see how all this shit pans out. I will be giving a round-by-round prediction, probably up to round 10. I'm not going to do all of the rounds. But as it gets closer to the season, about next month, we'll start doing predictions for each round. All right? Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my social medias, DM me, group chat if you want to be a part of my EuroLeague and Overseas group chat. I appreciate y'all tuning into this video. Up next is the tier list. And then from there, I will see y'all very, very soon. Let's keep running it up.